Hi everyone! Today I am making another card with the Waves of Inspiration stamp set and the Waves dies. And I'm also using some exclusive limited time only paper called Waves of the Ocean, and it's gorgeous. I'm going to do a card with this, but if you've already seen the video about this collection, fast forward a little bit until you get to where I make the card. But I do want to show it just in case this is the first time that you're seeing this collection. It's really pretty, and I want to make sure you see the whole collection. And this paper especially, it's beautiful and it's limited time. It's while supplies last. There's a video on my Facebook page that shows how they made this paper, and it's fascinating. If you'd like to watch videos on crafty things, go to Beth's Paper Cuts Facebook page, and you will see how this paper is made. It's poured acrylic and palette knife and then heated up to make the bubbles. It's amazing. Anyway, it's gorgeous paper. All different colors of blue, navy, and Pacific Point, and some granny apple green and pool party, coastal cabana, calypso coral, and daffodil delight. So it's just gorgeous, and each page, each sheet is, I love this one. This is my favorite because this is my color family right there. And this side has some yellows. It's just beautiful paper. As you can see, I've been using it up. Anyway, it's gorgeous paper, and I wanted to show it to you. We're going to use it on our card. And the card we're going to create in this video is this one from the flyer. Sometimes when a flyer comes out, excuse me a minute, my cat has gotten in. Kitty. She's gotten really good at opening the office door. Okay, sometimes when Stampin' Up! Comes out with a flyer or a catalog page, I like to do the cards in the photos just because it kind of helps me get a jump start on creativity. And sometimes they just do amazing things, and they really do a great job with the samples, I think. And so I wanted to recreate this one, and I thought I would do a video about it, even though it's not my own creation, because some people may wonder how they did it, and I saw a lot of people actually talking about that online. So a long time ago, Stampin' Up! Had a die that did this. I forget what it was called, and I think it was called Starburst die or something like that. Sunburst, not sure, but it was really cool. I no longer had it. I had it at the time, and I sell off my retired products on my blog, so I sold it years ago. And it's a really fun look, and it's easy to achieve with just some scissors. So we're going to do that, and I want to show you how I did it. I'm sure there's many ways. So this is the card we're going to make right now, and it uses that really nice paper and some of the elements from the Waves dies, which are really cool. I want to point out especially these really fun clouds. So we're going to use these clouds, and the clouds have additional detail that you can layer on them, and they're really fun. And we're going to use this label, and that's it. Oh, and these seagulls. Okay. So this is my second video with this particular bundle. The last one did kind of a simple to super. It was, you started with a simple version of a card and then kind of stepped it up a couple times to kind of, you know, depending upon what kind of time you have or supplies. So check that out. And then let's get started on this one. I picked a piece of the Designer Series paper that had a lot of yellows in it, so I grabbed this one. The back is this beautiful. This is my favorite one. It's hard to cut into, really, but I'm going to. So we're going to use that, and then we're also going to use a piece of basic white thick. Whenever I use white as a card base, I always opt for the thicker one. There's a thick and a standard cardstock base, and you want the thicker if you're going to use it. You know, because this is what's going to get opened and shut. So we're going to use that, and then we're going to use a smaller piece of the Designer Series paper. This time looking for more of a bluer, lighter pale blue tone to kind of mimic clouds. And so I opted for this one. On the back is that beautiful. Okay, so we're going to use these two, and this one is 2 inches by, let's see, 2 by 3. Okay, so we're going to go with that, and then we're going to use a little bit of silver foil and some Coastal Cabana cardstock. All right, so for our ray, that's the most important part. I cut this the entire length and width of the card, so this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then grab a ruler and something to write with. I'm going to use a chalk pencil, but you can use a regular pencil because we're going to draw on the back, so no one's going to see this. And what I'm doing here is I'm just going to try to find my middle point, so I'm kind of going to go, alright, so this, and I am not a very precise person. I like to not be precise. It's just who I am. So I eyeball it. You can measure this out and get the exact center. Alright, so there's my center. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ruler and kind of go along the center, make sure I can see it, and draw lines. So I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to move it a little bit. And then I'm going to move it again. And again. I erase my center line so I don't get mixed up. Okay, so I've kind of gone all the way around. And then I want to take a look at it and make sure that I've got enough lines. So for example, I'm going to cut every other one. So I'm kind of cutting this one, cutting this one, cutting this one, cutting this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. So I do. What you want to make sure is that you don't end up where you don't have enough lines going out. You should be fine because you're going all the way across. So you've got a starburst. So now you're going to cut out every other section with your paper snips. Oops. Okay. And you're going to go almost to the center. So you're going to go close to the center. But not quite. You can go all the way to the center and cut them all the way out, but you'll make your life easier if you don't, because they'll stay together. So then we're going to do this one. Okay, there's our first one. It's a little wonky here, but that's okay because we're going to cover that, remember, with this piece. Now save these because you're going to make a second one with these. Okay, so before we place it down on our beautiful white here, we're going to give ourselves a little blended background with the brush. So I'm going to just kind of make sure I didn't get anything on there. It's nice and yellowed up. And I'm going to use Daffodil Delight for the yellow. This is such a deep color on here that if you don't have Daffodil Delight and you have Bumblebee, that would work okay. Crushed Curry, or even So Saffron, just kind of give it enough color. So if you went with a lighter color, you blend it more. And if you're going dark, then just be a little gentle touch. Okay, so we're going to take it and we're going to get the initial touch on the side here, just to kind of, there's like a spot that's super dark. We want to eliminate that. And then we're going to go in a circular motion from the center and kind of work our way out. So we're going to have a soft little glow behind our rays. Like so. And you can kind of every once in a while place this down and see if you think you've got enough. Remember that center is going to be covered. I think I want to go a little heavier. Okay, I think this is good. Alright, so now this part is super easy. You're just going to glue this down. That liquid glue is nice because it's going to give you a little bit of play before it dries. So I like using the liquid. Okay, and you're going to go all the way to the edge. Now if you found that your paper is just a tad long, like mine is, go ahead and, I lost the cap, go ahead and trim that down. There we go. Okay, so first layer done. Now this piece is going to go straight down also. So go ahead and layer that down, and then we will make the rest. Okay, let's cut out our die pieces. I want to show you about a time-saving way to do your die pieces, or at least to make you less aggravated. These clouds have two pieces, and I did one in a dark and light so you can kind of see the detail on film. It's hard to know what's going to show up. So we're going to do white on white, and in person you do see that detail. So it's hard to know if you're going to see it on the film or the movie. Anyway, so you're going to cut out both the outline of the cloud and the detail of the cloud. But with the detail of the cloud, it's kind of hard to glue these tiny little details. So a nice thing to do is to use some of those adhesive sheets. Now the ones that Stampin' Up! Used to sell were the Sizzix brand. They don't sell this brand anymore, so you won't see, they look a little different. And I'm trying to use up my old one. So it's the same concept though. So I'm going to use up a scrap. I love using up little scraps that I find. And I'm just going to go ahead and trim some of this adhesive sheet. I need some for my silver also. Okay. So there's a peel and stick. You're going to take it apart. So if you can cut a piece that has that starter area, the other one has it too, that's great. And then you're going to stick it down. And then it kind of turns your die cuts into stickers, which is awesome. Okay, and then let's do some now. Because I got a piece that doesn't have that starter area, it's going to be trickier, but I can do it. You can use your fingernails, or if you've got a pin or that take your pick tool just to get it started. There we go. And I'm going to stick this on this piece of silver. Okay, is that even big enough for these seagulls? Yes, okay. So now we can cut out our clouds and our little gulls, and they will have adhesive already on them. So much easier. And I'm going to do these little detail ones. There we go. And a little seagull. There we go. My silver is kind of bendy, so I'll stick it down with some washi. There we go. Okay, now I kind of didn't want to put sticky on the back of my clouds because I don't really need it. So actually, I'm going to run these two through with the sticky sheet, and then I'll run this one through without the sticky sheet, because I'm going to use that sticky sheet a lot because I know I'm going to make a lot of clouds. So I'll reserve that. Okay. Alright, so I'll go through the non-sticky sheet side. By the way, the little mini cut and emboss machine is on sale right now. Just so you know. Okay. Alright, so now my clouds can have this fun extra detail. And I'm going to use my take your pick tool, so you have to peel the backing off, which is a little difficult, but it's less difficult than having to add glue to such a tiny thing. So the weather is so nice here today, and the little kids who moved in down the street are running up and down on their scooters, so that is so nice to see. So if you hear little screams, they're happy screams. Okay. All right, those sticker sheets are so nice, and that detail is really pretty. Okay, so we've got that. We've got our seagulls. Now we just need our sentiment piece, and I'm going to use the "You Are Totally Awesome." And I'm going to stamp that in basic gray. I'm going to do two because I know I'm going to make another card with the parts that we cut out. like to stamp my sentiments first, and that way when you put your label over, you can play with it and make sure it's exactly where you want it before cutting it out. Ooh, I almost lost one of my little rays. Okay, let's assemble our card. So we've got our front going. I want to add a couple little seagulls to our background here. So I'm going to grab that little seagull stamp. I'm going to do that in the basic gray. And this background paper is kind of acting like a cloud. I'm just going to go ahead and do 2 there. And 1 on the bottom. All right, and then our sentiment is going to get a little jazzed up with some silver foil sheets, and I'm going to kind of flag the ends of these, dress them up a little bit. See if I made them too long. Nope, that's good. And then I'm just going to go ahead and kind of feed this through. And then we will stick it down, there we go, with some dimensionals. All right, so now we're going to play around with these clouds. I got a large one, and I think that one I'll put flat. And then we've got the small one, and I actually have 2. Well, I'll save that one. No, let's use it. Let's use it. We've got it. Let's use it. I think I have another one over here. I do. I have lots of these clouds. I've made several because while I was using the sticker sheet, I made a whole bunch of clouds the other day. All right, so I've got this one down, and then I'm going to pop this one up. So we've got clouds at different heights. Fuzzy there.
So this one kind of
go there, and maybe I want to move it over a little bit, or maybe I want it down. So hard to decide where you want your clouds. I think I want it down. Okay, I'm going to put it there. And then those little seagulls, like, I remember sweeping them aside, and now I lost them. Okay, they were stuck to the they were stuck to the bottom of the machine. Okay, so I've already made these into stickers. Okay, now we're just going to add a little bit of bling, some rhinestones. Now the Waves of the Ocean set comes with, or not comes with, but you could, the kit the collection has these beautiful bluish and green rhinestones, and I'm not going to use those because these are up in the sky, and so I'm going to make it just moisture in the sky. So we're just going to use basic, just your basic rhinestones, nothing fancy. Kind of using more than I normally would, but they're just so nice in the sky. I think one more. That one did not want to come off the sheet. Okay, there, very blingy, so pretty. Oops. There you go. Now I'm going to make the second one using the parts that we cut out, and that's not as hard as it seems, so let's go ahead and do that really quick together. I'll fast forward through all the other parts because you've already seen how to, oops, did I not take the sticker off of there? I didn't. There. Okay, now we're going to make the other one. Okay, so this part is a little harder because it's not connected anymore. So now you have to kind of do a puzzle. And sometimes it even helps. So you get your corners in. Just like when you do a jigsaw puzzle, right? Sometimes it helps if you look at the one you just made and you kind of see if you're even right. Because like this one is not the corner down here. It's the corner up here. So it kind of helps you out a little bit if you have that as a reference. And probably you can get away with a few that are not correct. I bet that's down here. All right, I think that's probably correct. So funny, but no one's going to see that. Okay, there you go. There's my 2 cards that are a copy from the flyer. The flyer, by the way, is downloadable at my blog, Beth's Paper Cuts. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you want to leave a comment, I know I didn't create this myself and I'm copying, but I really wanted to show how to do it. You can see they did even more lines in their sun rays. I thought this was about as much as I could handle. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you again. Bye.